Good morning. I'm a couple minutes early. Like I said, 6:30, 6:45. A couple minutes early, but that's okay. I got my recharge because I got a long day today. I actually forgot that my son has a cardiologist appointment today, and I'm glad that I put his father's information down because I would have completely missed this appointment. And this is his first one after his procedure. So, we're going to jump right into it, and hopefully it's not that long, but I like to ad lib, so we'll see how that goes. So, when you're hopping in, drop your favorite emoji if you're on live, if you're on the replay, comment replay, and what time you're seeing this. Because I was thinking about doing a little time change, which I'm glad I didn't do it today, because today we have a cardiologist appointment, which is in a whole nother town, so I'll be out all day long. And then after that, I have to go all the way to the other side, like past our house, to the other side of the town to get a bundle of meat that I ordered yesterday. So, I will be busy all day long. And it's raining, so I probably won't get my walk in today. If I do, it'll be inside. But if I do get my walk in, it's also probably because I'm out and about. So we're going to jump into it. And this actually hit me yesterday. It was late last night. I was laying in bed watching it. If you've heard this phrase, or she said it a little different, but I was watching Pastor Kim, and there was something that she said that stuck with me. And I said, this thing is on point for what we're training about, what we're learning about right now. We have a huge trip coming up. If you're not going for that trip, then, you should be. So I would love to get the trip. And I would love to have people I've connected with online in the company there. So I'm going for the trip. I haven't announced it publicly to my page. I actually was going to on one of my lives and then my walk and talk. But then I kind of got sidetracked, started talking about something else. So, yeah. So I took what she said and I turned it into a business aspect. Working your business. So here's what I got, okay? You can't stay in the caterpillar stage forever and expect butterfly results. Did you hear what I said? You can't stay in a caterpillar stage forever and expect butterfly results. So, what does that mean? Caterpillars are in their little cocoon. They're staying still. They don't go nowhere. They don't get out. They don't do nothing. They don't prospect. They don't reach out. They don't connect. They don't network with other caterpillars. If you don't get out of your comfort zone, it's hard. I know. Okay, I know it's hard. If you don't get out of your comfort zone, then how do you expect to grow? How do you expect to bloom? How do you expect to grow into this beautiful butterfly if you don't step out of your comfort zone? When you're making product posts, if you're constantly posting graphics, if you're constantly posting stock photos, if you're constantly posting the simple images, not showing the real product that you're using, take pictures of the product that you're using. I would grab the recharge, but it's holding my phone up right now, so it's behind my phone, holding my phone up. Grab what you're drinking, grab what you're using, what you're putting on your face, and just take a simple, quick photo of it. I'll be sharing them on my page probably sometime today, because I think it is Thursday. See, I don't forgot the days. So it's Thursday for the beauty challenge. One of my go-to on a religious basis, on every day, every time I use it, every day, every time I do my skincare, is the calendula balm or the tea tree balm. I swap off between those two, whichever my face is feeling like it's needed, my skin is needing. Currently, at this very moment, I cannot find my tea tree balm because my kid likes to throw things. And I swear he threw it. It's probably up under my bed, and I just ain't getting down there to look for it. So I'm using the calendula balm. I've been using it for the past week just because I can't find my tea tree balm. But another thing is the vitamin C serum. So yesterday I was sitting there thinking, you know what? I need to start showing, like, yeah, I do my drink and my bundle. I do a Focus Fuel bundle, and I share that on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Facebook. But I need to step out and go get back into what I've been talking about from time I rejoined pharmacy was skincare. And what I've been, especially with the summer coming, because the calendula balm has helped my boy, especially my middle child. He likes ants. He likes bugs. And people don't realize that the calendula balm actually helps ant bites. It helps bug bites. You rub it on you if you like to go fishing like me. You like to get out in nature and you don't want getting eaten up by mosquitoes. Put some on before you leave out, like 30 minutes or so before you leave out, whatever. And then, trust me, them bugs will stay away from you. And if you already got bitten by an ant, or really any type of bug, because so far any type of bug, whatever bug's been biting him, it's not just ants. He be out there playing in dirt, so. But he got bit by ants is how I found out. It was probably 2 years ago. He got bit by ants on his feet, on his ankle. And it was like swollen. It was like not super swollen, like allergic reaction swollen, but it was puffy and red and itching and a little stinging and all that. And I looked it up because they say calendula helps start the healing process, right? So in my mind, I'm like, okay, let me look this up. Let me research it for myself. So I did. And I rubbed it on. I gave him a bath with some oatmeal. And then after he got a bath, dried him off, I rubbed it on his ankle and his foot, and he went to bed. Gave him some Tylenol. He went to bed. Next day, he was able to run around and jump on it. It wasn't hurting no more. So I had got bit on my hand from an ant. I wish I still had that picture, because I did take a picture and a video, like a before and after. It was a little bump, little red bump, turned into a pus bump. I did what everyone says not to do, and I popped it. Don't do that. I mean, don't listen to me. Don't do what I do. Just don't do what I do. Okay? Do better. So I popped it. I washed it. I put some calendula balm on it. The next day after I woke up, it was like I never even got bit. Okay? It's not a miracle thing. Okay? It's something inside the plant. Okay? But, so disclaimer, it's not no like trying to doctor you or nothing like that. But that's something that I learned. So coming into the summer, that's something I push. And that's something that every mom needs. I've made, I think, like 3 different posts along those lines. Every mom needs this. Okay? And so I push it. I push that white hair I just pulled out. Okay. So if you feel uneducated about the products, but skip every Zoom, what are you doing? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. What are you doing? Think about it. You ain't got to put it in the comments. Just think about it. Let it be a rhetorical question, because yesterday's Zoom was fire. Okay, it was like it touched base on just about almost every single skincare, if not all, and it was definitely like. I'm not the best at every single skincare. I talk about the products that I use. I talk about the products that I've seen work with me and my boys. So if you feel uneducated, we're going to be talking about skincare in every single Zoom. Not every single Zoom, every single Wednesday, I think she said. So definitely you want to jump in on these Zoom calls and plug in, take notes if you have to. You don't have to have your camera on. I don't have my camera on. I try not to, which they want you to be on, on mute, except when you want to talk or whatever. But I just don't have my camera on because my house be crazy. And who knows who's running around with no pants on. Just saying. House full of boys, I'm the only female up in this house. Even the dog is a male, okay? So, how do you expect to hit next rank? How do you expect to get the next sale? How do you expect to earn that trip? The trip coming up to Lake Tahoe. How do you expect to earn that if you're not stepping out and doing the things that you know work, but you have not done yourself? Are you making reels? Are you showing the products? You ain't got to sit there and be just sitting in front of the camera holding up the product and talking about it. I do dancing videos with my drink. With my Focus Fuel bundle, I do dancing videos with it. Every now and then, I'll put a caption in under the video, and I'll talk about like as like trying to pitch a set. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I just show the product, show me making a drink, drinking a drink. For I think the first couple of them, I didn't even drink the drink in the video. I drank it after. But then I was like, people might not think that I'm actually drinking it, like I'm just making it, right? So I was like, let me just drink it in the middle of the video. You know what I'm saying? Sipping on it in the middle of the video. And then when the next clip comes, it's gone. You know what I'm saying? So I've been doing that. You don't have to do that. No, I'm not saying go out there and start dancing and whatever, you know. You ain't got to get all the way out in your comfort zone if that's not your thing. If you want to do it, do it. If you think that you look silly doing it, you know how many grandmas out there doing it? Go on TikTok and type in dancing. It's not professional dancers out there dancing. It's people just having fun in their kitchen, in their bathroom, in wherever they're at, the living room. You know what I'm saying? And in the process of doing it, basically they call it a soft pitch, by you showing the product in the video. So I feel like if, you know, people don't like to be sold to, people don't like to be pitched to, people don't like to be like, hey, I got this product, why don't you try it out? You know what I'm saying? Just softly bring in your product or hold it in your hand. I've even used the time locker spray as a microphone as I'm doing one of them singing videos. You know, I actually had, it was an older video on TikTok and it got a lot of views. And I had one lady ask me, she was like in the comments, and she was like, are you drinking skincare? What are you doing? And I'm like, actually, it's not really. It does help with skincare. It was the Aloe Glow because I was using the microphone and then I took a sip of it in the middle of the video. And because I have this, I'm not going to say I have this thing where I was put my phone in the refrigerator and do a little dance or whatever for like a morning wake up. And I was going for the Aloe Glow, and I was like, you know, instead of just showing the product, showing me drink it, which I've done, stand there. You seen that guy he's on probably almost every platform, but I found him on Instagram, and he just stands there and drinks his coffee with a quote or a funny text or something over his video with laughing sound in the background. That's the whole page. That's what he does. And that's the simplest way I could put as far as like you holding your drink, coffee, whatever, Aloe Glow, L-carnitine, whatever you're doing, skincare, makeup, whatever it is, a brush, makeup brush. Hey, Linda. Good morning. Just holding your product. Put a little quote over the front. You ain't got to do no fast movement. You ain't got to do no dancing. You know, we do want you to get into the 365 movement, but you ain't got to do all that. I do it for mine because it's fun. I enjoy it. I'm not the best dancer, and I definitely have not been able to dance and move like I used to back in high school. I was on a dance team in high school. I can't do that stuff no more. My back be hurting. My feet be hurting. I literally the last one I made, I was doing something. I'm in my dining room area, so when I point over there, it's over there by the garage door, and that's where I be standing at next to the refrigerator. And I was doing something, and I wear these like slip-on. They're actually shoes I got on Temu. I think I showed them in one of my walk and talk lives. And I walk on the back of the heels of them, and I've been wearing them literally almost 90% of the time. And I was doing my video in them and I almost tripped. I don't know if anyone caught that. Watching it back, I was like, yeah, I look a little funny because I think I almost busted my butt. But I was having fun, so I wasn't going to edit it. I wasn't going to change it. I left it. I did my drink, did my story, and then went and did my walk. So I was like, I'm not even going to change it because I already posted it. Once it's posted, I'm not going to delete it. Nope. But showing your product in the middle of doing something, you like I said, you could be walking, you could be talking. You don't have to just sit there in front of the camera and just talk about the product. You could be doing something. You could be showing your plate of food. I've done that and had the products back there behind. They're looking at your food and they're like, oh, that looks good and blah, blah, blah and all this stuff. But they're looking at the thing and then they catch a glimpse of the product. What is that in the background? I need to know what that is. You know what I'm saying? There's certain ways you can get out of your comfort zone without actually getting out of your comfort zone, okay? So you got to get out of that caterpillar stage and you'll slowly start to see the butterfly results. So get out there and plug into the Zooms. What did I say? Oh, see, my handwriting is bad, y'all. Open to learn. And that's one of the things I talked about on Zoom last night. Mine was more of a question because if you've heard my Walk and Talk Live, I've talked about this, and I'm not going to touch base on all the companies I've been with, but I've been with more. This isn't my first makeup skincare company, nutritional company. I've been with multiple. Quite a few I have not learned from an upline. Like, I didn't have an upline to follow up under. I had to learn from other people. As far as makeup goes, I jumped on makeup trainings and I learned a few things here and there, but we don't know any better if we don't know. Like, if we're not taught the correct way. Like, this whole time, I'm thinking that it's okay to mix your serum. I don't do it with every single moisturizer because actually I don't even use a moisturizer on my face or my body. I use the balm. But, like, I seen a Instagram. This was a couple weeks ago. I think it was Instagram or maybe it was YouTube. They were talking about how to put products on, thinnest to thickest, right? And so when I learned that, of course, I go and cross match and double check with like ChatGPT and Google and all that stuff. But I was never taught that when I first started in network marketing with my very first beauty makeup company. I almost said beauty company because they did a little bit of everything. But then when I first joined pharmacy, I wasn't taught the proper way about skincare as well. So in the past companies, I wasn't taught. I had no knowledge of nothing. I had no knowledge of how to layer it, how to apply it to skincare, no knowledge how to apply, not to mix certain products, you know what I mean? So asking that last night on the Zoom, she talked about mixing the two serums. You could do that, but she wouldn't recommend. And I've done this in the past, so I had to ask for myself going further. I also know there's a bunch of ladies out there who, you're like me. You want it quick and fast, simple, like one-step product, two-step product. You want something that's the results ain't going to happen fast, but you don't have a lot of time to be sitting there doing this, and this, like a 5-step product. You know what I'm saying? I definitely don't. Like, literally, I have to take my time out the day to do that. So that's why I only do about 2 products. I'm good to go for the day. And I definitely see a difference. I'm just gonna pin that out there because I had a bunch of not a bunch, but I'm gonna say about 5 people on my walk and talk the other day, and not one of them was like, Toni, what's up with your skin? Because I didn't do no skincare like 2 days, that day and then the day before. And my face was dry. My lips were dry. And I'm sitting there like, ain't nobody gonna message me. I guess they thought that it might be rude or something. I don't know. But the amount of people that I've had will talk to me in my face and not tell me I got something in my teeth or I got this right here. Like, I mean, now when I did makeup lives, which is crazy because when I did makeup lives, I had people tell me that, oh, you got some mascara up there at the top, or you didn't contour, you know, like, or not contour, excuse me, blend. You didn't blend out your contour. Now on my last makeup live, I think it was this year. I think it was this year because it was St. Patrick's Day themed. So I think it was this year. Ain't nobody told me on that live. There was a few people, like probably 3. Maybe they weren't paying attention. I don't know. Maybe they couldn't tell because I didn't like turn my head or nothing like that. But they didn't tell me I didn't blend out my chin area. So when I took the pictures, the after pictures, I noticed it myself. I was like, what the hell is going on here? But I had already took the pictures, so I didn't blend it out. I don't know why I didn't stop and blend and then take the picture. Don't ask me. But I also did reels right after, so I probably was like, whatever. But yeah, the amount of people that didn't tell me that my face was ashy, my face was dry, my lips were dry, like they were white. I look back at that live; it's still on my page, and I'm like, man, my lips are white as anything, like I was eating a powdered donut. And then I did my skincare yesterday. There's a big bird by the window. It distracted me. I did my skincare yesterday before I went out and about because I had to, grocery shopping and run some errands and everything. And I was in my stories when I got home, and I was looking back at that, rewatching that, and I was sitting there thinking, you could definitely see a difference with just I used the Calendula Balm and the vitamin C serum. So I put the vitamin C serum on first. I went and did a few things here and there, whatever. And then I put on, like, after about 5, maybe 10 minutes pushing it. I don't know. I did the Calendula Balm because I did the Calendula Balm on my face first. Then I did my elbows. And, yeah, I do all that, okay? I even massaged in my feet, okay? But, yeah. So, where was I going with that? I have no idea. I done forgot where I was going with that. But I don't remember where I was going with that. Why I got into talking about lives and products. I have no idea. Let's see. Stepping out your comfort zone. What's your plan? Yeah. Oh, open to learn. So asking on the Zoom last night, I wanted to know for myself. I wanted to learn basically the right way and how to is it correct to sit there and pitch that to use that as a pitch for a sale, because you don't want to be out there pitching the wrong thing. You don't want to be out there telling them the wrong information. It's going to look bad on you, and they're not going to be a returning customer, So you want to keep that the trust and the value within your potential customer open. So you also want to stay coachable. You want to be able, that goes hand in hand with being able to learn, okay? If you're not hopping on the Zooms and learning from the Zooms, like I said, yesterday was all about skincare, and I think they said every Wednesday is going to be all about skincare and product knowledge, really. So not necessarily skincare, but the beauty aspect of it, okay? Not just the nutritional part, because we're pushing the nutritional. But they want to touch base on, because we do have a beauty challenge, especially on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So every Wednesday, they're going to be doing product knowledge. You're not going to be educated in it if you're not willing to learn. So confidence comes from knowledge. Knowledge comes from showing up. Showing up on a Zoom, showing up on trainings. These live trainings, not everyone's going to catch them because they're super early in the morning and Eastern time, and this is the perfect time to do it where I don't have no distractions. But I do want people to comment below their time they're seeing it on the replay, so I'll have an idea. Maybe I could squeeze it in somewhere along the way. Probably not today, which I'm already doing it today, but because my son has this appointment later today. But we're going to talk about recruiting real quick, because that's one thing that they have been talking based on with the Zooms. Recruiting, I think it was it Monday or was it last week? I can't remember, but they were talking about recruiting. They did a little Zoom training on recruiting. And you hear one type of recruit. Well, I'm gonna say at least two types of recruiting I've been hearing on a constant, like I'm not gonna say roller coaster. What's them things? Is that a Ferris wheel that goes round and round? Anyways, um, recruiting. It's not begging, okay? And don't come straight out and start asking, "Hey, you want to join my team?" Because that's just tacky, okay? I actually had 3 people. Yeah, well, one was a product. Actually, I think she was trying to pitch a sale because she asked to do an order swap from two of her companies to my one company. And for one, I don't do order swaps. I've never done an order swap. Probably because I have trust issues. That's probably my problem. But that's just me, my personal stuff. Okay. So these people that came in my inbox, 2 of them were on my friends list, and one was just in a group that I was in and seen my post in the group, and she told me. And the one that's not my friend that just seen my post in a group, in a direct sale group, she messaged me, said she seen my post, and then she was like, "I went to your page and seen what you do. Would you like to do an order swap? If not, have you heard of such and such companies, 2 different companies?" And I was like, I just told her, no, I haven't heard of the companies because I'm not about to take the time out to go and look. The names sound familiar, but I can't pinpoint what they sell. You get what I'm saying? So you don't want to beg, okay? And you don't want to go out and cold message. You don't want to go out and cold message your warm market either. I've heard that was a bad thing, okay? So I looked into different ways to recruit because I feel like, I don't know if it's just me, but I get bored with doing the same thing over and over and over again. That's probably my ADHD, but it also probably has a lot to do with, well, not a lot to do with. It probably has, it explains why I don't stick to just one thing, okay? I'm very proud of myself and shocked that I have stuck to my walk and talk and my dance reels with my Focus Fuel drink. I'm super proud of myself for sticking to those 2 things because I feel like typically I would already be on to the next thing, okay? So I looked them up and I just wrote down the list. I didn't write down, this is my little notes, by the way. I didn't write down, I'm an ad-lib, basically put it like that. So different ways to recruit without feeling like you're cold prospecting. And that's one of the things that I've had people ask me, what is like, because I've basically put in the comments on multiple times of different trainings, different things, where I went on YouTube and I started researching different ways to recruit. Because I got tired of, not tired, I'm not going to say that, because, so earlier in this live, if you're hopping on a replay, earlier in this live, or if you're just now hopping on, I talked about my son has a cardiologist appointment. I'm very open with my trials, tribulations, struggles, all them things, like to a point, okay? So I'm private to a certain aspect. But when it comes to I'll open up about my son's condition, and I've been open about it since day one, since he was born, but more of a educating standpoint, if that makes any sense. I felt like with his condition being rare and with him, which come to find out when you're in it, it's not as rare as you think it is. But to other people who have healthy children, no disabilities, it is rare. So my 6-year-old, he has DeGeorge. Alongside DeGeorge, he also has TET, MAPGUS, BSD, 4 heart defects. I had to count them. I'm normally naming them off and explaining them, but I'm not going to do that during this live. So I shared his journey from the time he was born. I'm not going to go into detail like his whole journey, like from time pregnancy and this and that, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to do all that. But what I will say is when we found out his disabilities and what it was going to look like, I shared it. If you go to my page now and you're not following me, you won't see it. You might see snippets, in the highlights or things like that. Because Facebook has this new feature where you can make your past posts private. And I was in my memories the other day, and I seen that it's all private. It used to be public. But I didn't go back and change the I guess the viewing settings or whatever you call them from privacy to public, even though it's been public. I just left it as private. So the only people that can see it is people who are friends with me on my friends list, if they go search far enough, because I know I got a lot of stuff on there. I got a lot of content. So that comes to my first because I wrote different ways to recruit without feeling like you're cold prospecting, and that comes to my first one, storytelling. So I've told his journey from the time he was born. I kind of slowed down a little bit because we're like not in the same stage as we were. His first year of life was the hardest part, and I would share every little thing. I don't even think, now the lives aren't on here no more, I was about to say, because I've been on live and people can hear him in the background. They're like, well, go ahead and get off live and get to, tend to your baby. And I'm like, no, I'm doing a live. Like, he's good. He's right there, okay? But, plus he's playing with his brothers. It's okay. So, like, storytelling, I've been open about that. My stroke story, I've been open about that. What was the other thing? When I had my stillborn, I've been open about that. I felt with that one, honestly, I felt like I was not forced to tell it, to be open about it, but like kind of obligated, because I was open about my pregnancy, and then boom, she doesn't have the baby no more. So I felt like I was obligated to be like, this is what happened. You know what I'm saying? But then it turned into a healing journey, so it went hand in hand. And pharmacy helped out a lot with the depression part of it, depression aspect of that. So storytelling, like I've been open, and I'm not saying that because I feel like you should go out there and be open and raw with your audience, with your followers, with your platforms. And I say platforms because what I post on Facebook will go on to Instagram, and I also will talk about it over there on TikTok. So I'm not saying go out there and just like start telling all your business. Because like I said, I'm open to a point. So there's a way you could do both. You can be private and public at the same time. Okay. The way I look at it, musicians, celebrities, they're all open to a point. Because we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. We don't know what happens in the privacy of their home. We only know what we see at that time that they're on TV or they're in that interview. So the same thing with big influencer and content creators. You only see what they show you in that 10-second reel, in that 20-second clip. You know what I'm saying? And you could touch base on it without going into depth. Because there's a lot about Kayvon's, that's my 6-year-old. There's a lot about his story, his journey, that I have not shared. And I have actually brought up on my platform, he had surgery, Lord, don't ask me the date. I was about to sit there and explain it, and I was like, I don't know the date. It was last year, yeah. He had surgery end of last year. Like 3 different procedures done in one surgery. So it was like one big surgery. But I only talked about 2 of them. Because I feel like the third one is for him to tell. That's his part. That's his story. If he wants to be open about it, the older he get, that's on him. But that's not my place to say it. So you can be open to a point. You can share to a point. And storytelling is one of the best ways to get people to come in as a potential buyer, as a potential customer, or as a potential recruit. Storytelling. And that also ties into lifestyle content. How you make your coffees. I do those all the time. Coffee reels. I actually switched it up with my most recent one. I posted on the challenge. I think it was yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. I did the talking at the beginning, and then I showed how I made my coffee. And I didn't really use any pharmacy products on that one. You could see them in the background. But I just made my coffee quick and simple the way I normally typically make it when I don't have pharmacy coffee. But lifestyle content, that's one way. I think it was 2 years ago, I learned, never thought of this until I was told. I was in another reel challenge. And she was like, do a reel with just showing your feet. And I was like, what? First off, that's hard, okay? And I say that's hard because you're supposed to be walking and all you see is your feet in it. And then you put like a quote over it and some funky graphic. Not graphic. Is it a graphic? I don't know. It might be graphic. I don't know. Filter. There we go. I couldn't think of the word. Some funky filter over it and some fun music behind it. And you just film your feet walking. And I did it it took me about 4 tries to finally get it because I could not do it. I look at my feet walking all the time, but I could not film and look at my feet at the same time. So that is a type of lifestyle content because you could be showing where you're walking if you're doing your 365 challenge, if you're walking to the park with your kids, if you're walking into the store. I have not yet filmed content at the store yet. As much as I go to the store, I should be, but I get nervous about that. Not everybody here knows me, but it is a tight-lit community. But I'm more of a homebody, so yeah, I get nervous about that. I haven't had no one come up to me and be like, hey, I seen you on. Actually, no, wait, I have. But that was at my job, so I don't know if that counts. That was when I worked night shift. So lifestyle content is a great way to bring people in, okay? They get to see a little bit of your life, relate to what, maybe they like to do the same thing you do. I like to watch homestead videos, but I don't have a farm. And a lot of people would connect with me because I was watching homestead videos. And they're like, oh, you have a farm? You have chickens? And I'm like, no. They're like, oh, we thought you did. But I still like you, though. We'd connect over that. I'm a homeschool mom, so I've connected with people like that. Same thing. I think they talked about Amber and them talked about on the Zooms of getting in like-minded groups. Now, I'm a homeschool mom, so I'm in a lot of homeschool groups. I only engage in a few of them, but I've met a lot of people within those groups. In my community, outside my community, in other states, but I met quite a few, made friends. Facebook friends, because a lot of them I don't know in person. That brings me to my son and his condition. I met a lot of heart moms, a lot of moms with heart babies. So I made connections there, lifestyle content, because I shared that and I reached out into the groups and I made connections within the groups. I found basically my tribe, my people that understood what I was going through at that time, people that understand what a heart mom goes through, people that I can connect to, and we're still friends, we still engage and everything like that. They're not always going to buy from you, they're not always going to join you, but that connection and them engaging on your stuff gets your stuff pushed out to your potential. Okay. So another thing is the transformation recruiting. Transformation recruiting is just like a transformation reel, whereas you're not really showing, trying to get comfortable here. You're not really showing you could show your before and afters. That's a type of transformation recruiting, because you could recruit people that way, but it's more of who you were to where you became. You are afraid to go live, or maybe you're at that stage now, you're afraid to go live. Be open and honest about it and share that, because you're not the only one. when I first joined pharmacy, my lives were not my issue. My issue actually was people in my head telling me I should always wear makeup. I should always have my hair done. This is me, okay? I don't wear makeup. I mean, I wear makeup. I don't wear makeup like that, okay? I can do makeup and all that, but I'm not like, I don't walk around my house with a face full of makeup. I don't wake up and put makeup on to go out the door. I do have to take a shower before I go out the door. Uh, I don't brush my hair 90% of the time, literally with a hairbrush. I went like a whole month because I couldn't find my hairbrush, and I didn't. As much as I went to the store, I could have bought one, never did. And then finally, I broke down and bought me a hairbrush. And then I found my other hairbrush. It was in my closet on the floor behind the door. Yeah, but I'll go out without brushing my hair. Go out with no makeup. I don't get my nails done. I've never been in a nail salon and got my nails professionally done. So I'm trying to read it, but the thing, okay. That's you. See? And that's how you connect with people. I've met so many people, just talking about the nails, let's talk about that real quick. Because I've met so many women that I thought I was like the last one on earth that have never gotten her nails done. Because I don't wear, like, I've done the nail strips, okay, I painted the nails myself. I've actually done nail reels because, they're, like, hot on TikTok, and pharmacy used to sell nail polish, so I've done that. But I don't go and get my nails done. I went and bought press-ons, from Dollar General. I still have them in the box. I've never opened them because I didn't put them on, and honestly, I would say the box is over there a bit behind me, or behind, over there. Oh, no. I don't know where it's at. But that's me. And I had people in my head. That's the only reason what prevented me from getting on camera and being in my stories like I am now. Doing reels without makeup. Getting on live without makeup and things like that, because I had people telling me I should. I remember I was with a jewelry company, and I had people who had no connect. Like, I'm not gonna say no connection to me. I had people that I didn't know on a personal level, but we knew of each other, telling me I should get my nails done, go to the salon and get my nails done just to show off jewelry. Like, that'll push the sale harder. You know what I'm saying? But like, once you start to show your transformation from coming from that to now, I can get on with, like me, like, I'm using myself as an example. I can get on with no makeup. I can get on with not worrying about people saying, oh, you need to brush your hair or you need to have your hair. Messy hair all day, 24/7. What goes on in the back is none of my business, okay? So as long as the front looks good to me, I'm good to go. Because I've seen some of my reels over on, hey, Monique. Hey, Nicole. That's my dog in the background, if y'all hear. He's rolling around on the couch. I love watching your lives. It's like Christmas. Good morning. So yeah, and if you're nervous about it, you can talk about it. Like, I went through that stage. That's where I was going with that. I got into talking about nails and makeup and all that stuff. When I first started doing lives was with my previous company. Like, not previous, but like the jewelry company, let me put it like that. So I was pushed to go live with that company. And that was when Kayvon was in the hospital. So I was literally, and I think it was actually still going through the pandemic thing. So it wasn't in the mix of the heat of the pandemic, but it was like, basically what I'm trying to say is my oldest was in public school. And so he was doing school on the computer at home. So I would get up in the morning, go to the hospital, see Kayvon, which was about an hour and 15 minutes away, come back home, make sure my oldest was finished with his work, did his work, all them things, then hop on live. And that became a routine, that became a pattern. And at the very beginning of that, I was nervous as crap. I didn't know what to talk about. I'd stutter over my words. Like I already talk fast and I already run my words together. It did not help while I was on live and I was nervous, okay? It didn't help, okay? So I was like, it's like I said in the chat the other day, I felt like my sentences, I felt like my words were falling down the stairs and like tripped and stumbled and just started falling down the stairs. It was a train wreck, okay? And literally, I was like, I remember everyone, because people, when you're getting off of live and you're really into like the conversation with your followers or with your peoples or whatever, with your little tribe, all them things. I say little because my tribe's little, so don't get offense to that. I was like super quick to hit the finish button. You know what I'm saying? I was super quick to hit it. Like, thank you for hopping on. I think even now I might do it, but at least now I take a moment back and like, thank you for hopping on, blah blah blah, whatever. But I was like super quick to hit it. Like I was ready to get off, and then when I got off, I had like this rush. Like I was like super hyped, and it was late at night, so I was like, I should do these earlier because I'm like hyped. But now I can just hop on. The only thing that prevents me now from hopping on more often is my kids. I cannot stand. I'm a mom. I got 3 living boys, okay? I cannot stand the screaming and the loudness in the back when I'm trying to make a point, when I'm trying to do something. Like, I know. It comes with the territory. I know. Especially if you got a baby, you can't help it. I know. I understand. But I just can't help it. Like, maybe other kids I probably don't have that big of an issue with. I don't know. I don't really be around other kids. My kids will drive me up the wall. Like, they will aggravate me. I think it slowly comes out a little bit during my walk and talk, especially that last one, when for some reason they were nonstop wanting to talk. And I'm like, dude, I've been doing this for a week straight, and y'all ain't want to have a full conversation with me yet during it. Why today y'all want to start talking? Like nonstop. Oh, okay, I read that one. Yeah, I'm excited. Let me know when it comes. If I'm not at the doctor's, still in the office, I'm definitely gonna hop on. I'll probably catch the replay. I don't know what time, depending on if I'll be able to get them to my phone, because I'm not actually allowed to use my phone during. Well, I can use it during, but she always be looking over her shoulder. Whoever's doing the ultrasound. She don't like me on my phone. I guess she don't trust, because I tried to take video one time. Not of her, okay? I was taking video of my son. Okay, maybe you saw her hand in it, but that's about it. But, okay, next thing. So we did storytelling, lifestyle content, the transformation of who you were to who you became, where you came from to where who you became now. And then you could talk about, within that transformation recruiting content, you could talk about, where you want to go, where you see yourself, your goals, things like that, okay? So, and then you got curiosity marketing. That one I actually had to write a note next to, because I was like, am I going to remember what that is? No. So it's, what did the business help pay for? You see a lot of people post about that specifically in the privacy of a group, not so much on their platform. At least I have it. I don't know. It's just me. I hear a lot about storytelling, and then I hear a lot about what is the storytelling, the educational one, and then conversation. Those are the ones that I hear constantly talking about recruiting. But curiosity, you don't really hear too much about what is helped with them publicly. Very few do I see people post about what the business aspect has helped with them publicly. I'm trying to think if I've done, as far as financially, no, because I don't really talk about money too much. For me personally, it's mostly Facebook, because my page, I don't know, they just don't like me talking about financial stuff. But then again, you have to be very careful about it. If you've been following Stormy and her story, you have to be very careful about how you like go about talking about that part, okay? Because you have the potential to earn this, and this, okay? That's not guaranteed though, all right? So you have to be very careful about that. But curiosity marketing, definitely what the business helped you with. It could be financially, it could be mental, it could be, because I have talked about the mental part. I think that's where I was, where I have touched base on it like once or twice. Because like I said in earlier in this live, after I lost my daughter, and me sharing her journey became my healing journey. But then focusing on my makeup reels, or not makeup reels, my makeup lives, doing that, I did them at night. I would do makeup looks at night, literally probably 6 to 7 days a week. And like at 9, 10 o'clock, everybody knew Toni's hopping on live. She's doing her makeup live. My oldest actually used to, are you gonna go do your makeup live? Can you do a makeup live tonight? Like if I wasn't going to. He's like, can't you hop on and do your makeup live? And I'm like, why do you care so much? And he's like, so I can be alone and you're not calling my name. I'm like, teenagers. But that is one thing I have shared, how much it has helped me. Focusing on those makeup lives, focusing on the business, putting my all into that has helped me as far as not staying stuck in my thoughts. Our thoughts can be the worst of us. Talking about the community, I've done that. Sharing, if you see, I still have some in my phone. If you want some of the Zoom calls, for like, because I have screen records of the Zoom calls. You can't hear nothing, so you can put your own music to it, or you can do a voiceover with it. I haven't been doing screenshots lately because my screenshot on my phone, every time I do the screenshot button, which is the volume and the power, it wants to open up my camera. So I don't know what's up with that. I try to turn my phone off, it wants to open up the camera. But the community, sharing, when we do these team, I think, what were we doing? That trend thing. What was we doing? I'm trying to think of the product we used. Oh, what's in your cup? The What's in Your Cup challenge with everybody joined in and did the What's in Your Cup. That's the community. Sharing that with the community, with your followers. Somebody should. I'm like, I should, but I ain't going to have time to do it today. Go and get everyone's video and then put it all into one little video. But that's showing the community. Sharing that with your followers, your potentials, that brings people in, because some people just want to be a part of something. Some people just want to be involved in the in a community, any type of community. Maybe they don't have friends on the outside like me. And they just want friends and they want to connect with people, with like-minded people. I've met the most like-minded people over social media. Not in my local town, not at the jobs I've had, but just online. We're like, we should live next door to each other. We wouldn't get nothing done. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, educational. We hop into Zooms. At the very beginning of this live, if you're just now hopping in, at the very beginning, I talked about, I'm going to read this quote one more time because it goes right along with the educational part. You can't stay in the caterpillar stage forever and expect to get butterfly results. If you feel uneducated about the products, but skipping every Zoom, how do you expect to be educated on the products? Every Wednesday, we're going to be doing, they said, product knowledge. So every Wednesday on the Zooms, they're going to be doing product knowledge. Friday, they're doing something else. I forgot what they said, 5 something. I don't remember. But hop into Friday one. Friday. Everyone hop into Friday. It's going to be good. It's always good because Jennifer's always hyped up. And I love her. I love her energy. Now my foot's asleep. I shouldn't have sat on my foot. So I'm almost done, y'all. Don't worry. I said it's not going to be that long, but I'm almost done. So educational. Hop into Zooms to learn product knowledge. People asking questions. You don't have to have your camera on when you do. But learn about the products so you feel more confident, okay? So you got attraction. Okay, attraction recruiting is like what I do with my dance reels. People love to see people. Well, I've noticed people love to see people dance and do silly things. I've been told this isn't true, but this is my personal opinion. I feel like the stupider, the better. You could be doing something silly and funny and then holding up the product. Okay. I actually went, I never did it in a reel, but I told a story. It is a true story. So with the what is that? The flaunt it. Okay. Pharmacy with the flaunt it. It's like the two products. They like kind of burn and sting a little bit. I can't remember what it's called. It's called flaunt it, but it's called something else. It helps tightening and hiding, like getting rid of cellulite and stuff like that. So it's like a scrub. You're supposed to wash it off. It's not a lotion. It's not something you leave on. You put it on, let it sit for a little bit, you wash it off. It's a 2-step product. My old man couldn't find his lotion. So he goes and just doesn't ask, just goes and grabs it. Starts rubbing it on his thighs, on his arms, on his chest, on his face, putting it everywhere. He starts yelling. I'm in the next room. He's yelling. He's like, help, why is this burn? And I'm like, I thought he fell or something. I didn't know what was going on. Because not in a million years would I think that he would grab my products and start putting them on without even, one, reading, or two, asking what they are. So I go in there, and he's in the shower again. And I was like, why are you in the shower again? You could be late for work, because he works nights. And he told me what he did. And I said, what product? He didn't know what it was called. He said, that thing over there is like white and yellow, I think. And I go and look. And I said, I went and grabbed a small one because it's like a tube and then the small little. And I grabbed a small one. I said, this? And he was like, yeah, that. And then the other stuff, I put both of them on because they both look like they go together. I said, what? He said, I was putting them on. I went to put my clothes on over it and it started burning. He said, what is that? And he's like freaking out. And I was sitting there like, don't touch my stuff. Like, if you're going to touch my stuff, ask. And I'm not like that uptight, don't touch my stuff. Like, don't, you know what I mean? Like, sharing is caring over here, okay? But if you don't know what it is, and if you're not going to read, and I'm not the expert on reading everything because I was at Food Line. I know I'm telling like multiple stories in one, but I was at Food Line, and I went and got some tea. It was a can, and it said Bojangles on it. And if you're not from the South, don't know what Bojangles is, it's a fast food restaurant. It sells chicken, and it sells sweet tea. So it says sweet tea, okay? I thought it was Bojangles sweet tea in a can. I said, oh, cool, they're marketing in a can. I didn't know it had alcohol in it. I said, who the hell? Bojangles don't sell alcohol. It's a fast food restaurant. And it explains why people were in the, because I was putting the groceries in the car and I grabbed the can and I went to open it and my old man was like, what are you doing? And I said, I'm about to open this can. It's sweet tea, Bojangles sweet tea. They're promoting it. No wonder everyone's looking at me like I'm crazy. They thought I was, I guess, an alcoholic or something, about to drink and drive or something with my kids in the car. I didn't know it was alcohol, which I wasn't driving. He was driving, but still, I was trying to get him to take a swig. I didn't know they had alcohol in it because I don't read the label. So I can't really say too much at him not reading the label of the pharmacy products, okay? But I told that story, and that brought a lot of people, and they were asking questions about that product. Where can I get it? What is it for? What does it do? If it burns like that, it must be working. Like, I've had all types of people just coming in and asking. So that brings in, that's the type of attraction marketing. They found it funny. It kept them engaged. They wanted to know what the product was because I don't think when I told the story, I didn't show the product. I don't even know if I put an image with the story. I probably did. I probably put my face because that was my big thing. I used to do that all the time. Everything I put my face with it. But then one that I've always been hearing, another type of recruiting is different ways to recruit. Another one is conversation. Been hearing that a lot. Get to know people. Conversate with them. So I think that's the last one. It is the last one. Yep. Okay. So I'm I'm going to probably make a post about this because I feel like I'm not going to remember it all unless I read this paper again, and I don't know if I will. But I can make a post about it, or y'all can just ask in the chat if you want the list. I just went to watch different reels, and I got this list of different ways to recruit people instead of doing the same thing. Because until I get comfortable myself sending a voice message, I'm not going to be making a lot of conversations unless they message me and we conversate. But that's my biggest struggle. Sending messages, doing voice messages, and sending out, and going out there and conversating with people. So, storytelling, lifestyle content, transformation, curiosity, community, education, attraction, and conversation. They say if you get to do 100 and then you get, what is it, you got to do 100 conversations to get just 10. Yeah. I ain't got time for all that. I'll make a reel real quick and bring people in. Okay, that's me. I'll make a reel, be in my stories, and you come to me. That's how I do it. But then again, what I'm trying to do with this trip, or earn this trip, trying to recruit more, I'm thinking of doing every single one of those, which, like I said in the very beginning, I already do a few of them. Of course, I'll be getting some content. I'm debating on how I should do the content today because I've done different ways of doing content when my son's going to the doctors. But that's me. That's I'm very open with that. You don't have to be open like that. You don't have to be. People love a story though, so you can do it without telling a story, if that makes any sense. Share snip clips, like small little 2-second clips of what you're doing without having to sit there and talk. You know what I mean? Because when I do storytelling like that, like him going to the doctor, the cardiologist, 90% of the time I don't talk during them. I did a dance one time in the doctor's while I was waiting because I forced my old man to come and take him to the back to get the ultrasound. So I made him come into the doctor's office. So they went and I stayed in the room waiting. And while they were gone, I propped my phone up and I did some stupid dance, even though I forgot all the dance moves to the TikTok trend. But it got a lot of likes and views, so. But that's what I got for today. If you hopped on live, go ahead and drop your favorite emoji in the comments. If you're hopping on, you don't see that live up top, you're hopping on a replay, you can hashtag replay or comment replay at the time that you've seen this. And have a good day. I hope y'all have a good day. And try to go out there and make your recruiting post. I got to get mine in because I didn't do none yesterday. I told myself I was going to do stories, reels, and posts. I didn't do none yesterday. So, hope y'all have a great day. Smooches.